Last video for 3.6, quadratic inequalities. And this is when the quadratic inequality is in one variable. So if you take a look, you'll notice it looks just like a quadratic equation. It's an inequality. It has x's in it though. It does not have a y. So when we solve these, we won't be graphing them on an xy axis. We'll be graphing them on a number line. So for this first one, it's involving a lot of factoring. We're looking for the two numbers that multiply to -32 and add to 4. And it's almost like you can factor it and set it equal to 0. And we get two answers. We get x could be -8 or x could be 4. And you'll notice here on the number line, I have open circles because it's greater than, so it's not including 4 and -8. And it's actually an or situation, so it's greater than it's greater than 4 or it's less than -8. If you remember your ands and your ors from Algebra 1, the ors kind of went in opposite directions. And if you weren't sure, what you could do is you could pick a point like 5 and plug it in and see if it made it true. And 5 would make that true, which is why I've shaded to the right. If I pick a point like -9 and plug it in, -9 would make this true. So what you see in black is actually, on the number line, is the solution. Another way to think about this, though, is if you would draw the parabola, which you can see I've done here in blue, it's asking where the parabola, if there was one, is greater than 0. Well, if you can imagine that we have an xy axis here, where are the y values greater than 0? They're greater than 0 up here, right? Y would be bigger than 0 here and here. So that kind of coordinates with what we've done on our number line. So for the second one, again, we're going to set this equal to 0 so we can factor it. And less than is an and statement. So when we factor it and solve it, we get our two solutions. And this time when we go to graph it, -2 to 1/2, we could pick a number that's inside, like 0, and plug 0 in, and that would make this true. We would end up with -2 is less than or equal to 0. So the solutions are between -2 and 1/2. So that's what it looks like in the black on the number line. And again, if it was to be a parabola, which I've done here in blue, it's asking us where are the y values less than 0. So again, if we put an xy axis here, where is y smaller than? Wouldn't it be below this number line right here? So that's what you're doing when you're graphing in one variable. I'll just flash some of these answers here. Okay, so we set it equal to 0. We solve it. This would be an AC method. And because it was less than or equal to, it's between -5/2 and 4. Notice this time I have solid circles because it's actually including those. Those are part of the solutions. So I will put a printout of all of my answers, but please try to work through 4 and 6. And your homework assignment is right here. Whoops. And it will be posted on Blackboard as well. It is not the typed one. It is the handwritten one, which I believe is what is on your note copy. And that's what you should work on for homework this evening. Thank you.